Is this an example of DEI in the real world? The NYPD had to move their cadet assessment division officer guy in charge of the cadet assessments for the New York Police Department Academy out of his job and into another job instead of just firing him, which I don't understand why we do in government jobs, but that's just the case. After he kept 70 people in the academy who, by all accounts, should have been kicked out. Guy named Terrell Anderson is in charge of who gets to be an NYPD cop and who doesn't get to be an NYPD cop. On May 12th, the NYPD, as a part of an internal investigation, sent him elsewhere to a different department, the housing department specifically, it doesn't matter where it was. It's just the fact that why don't they just fire people? They say it's because he allowed more than 70 candidates to stay at the police academy. This is from the New York Post, and I'm quoting here. Despite them failing psych requirements, I feel like that's important. There is a shortcoming in NYPD hiring. They have the pitfall for the last couple of years, but lowering the standards, especially of the psych requirement, seems like not a great idea. And it gets even weirder. An example of the 70 people, more than 70 people that this guy kept was the nephew of the former highest paid cop on the NYPD police force. Quathesha Epps, yes, Quathesha Epps, retired in December after she was involved in a shocking sex scandal, which we're not going to talk about here, but it's just crazy that happened. She was at the time the highest paid person on the force, making $400,000 a year in salary and overtime. This guy who's in charge of the cadets, Terrell Anderson, claims that Epps called him personally and said, "Hey, don't you dare dismiss my nephew." Her nephew, Emilio Andino, is still in the academy, and people say that he should have been disqualified. Why should he have been disqualified? Well, apparently, he remains on the academy, according to the New York Post, despite getting suspended last month for allegedly slapping another recruit. I feel like slapping your coworkers is grounds for termination. See, but this is the problem with DEI. When people complain about DEI, it's not that they don't want diversity, even though I don't believe race counts as diversity. Thought diversity is probably a better form of diversity rather than skin color. That's very stupid, but such is the world that we live in. No, it's the fact that you're lowering standards. I don't care if the entire NYPD is one race or another race, so long as they all meet the standards set by the people that say, hey, these are the standards. It's when the standards start to slip, in this case for these 70 people, including Quathesha Epps' nephew, it's when the standards start to slip for them is when we have a big problem. This sounds like a reality TV show. It honest to God sounds like there is a reality film crew going around New York City finding police officers. Hey, this lady was involved in a sex scandal, and this guy is letting a bunch of people who shouldn't be in the police force, especially remaining in the academy. She has a nephew in there, and she doesn't want this guy to let her nephew go, even though her nephew slapped somebody. But the nephew claims that he only slaps the person because they were making fun of her sex scandal. Just don't lower the standards. How about we do that? Just don't lower the standards.